Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Last Epoch dev stream. As always, I'm your host, B, and it's lovely to have you all here today. Oh, what's this? I'm not your usual host? Yes, I am. It's great to be here. Ah! Hello, everybody. Welcome back. If you do not know, today is International Bee Day, and to celebrate, I dug my bee costume out of the closet. It was right behind me the whole time. It's a lie. It was very available at all times. It is so itchy. I just gotta get this, like this little tutu thing. This is a tutu for a child 30 years younger than me. But yeah, great to be here. If this is your first time here, I don't always look like this. But this is my Halloween outfit. The little antenna get going, it just gets me. But we're serious here. We're serious about this, and we're gonna continue to be serious. I'm gonna keep pushing the monolith. I'm so close to unlocking empowered monoliths here. So we're gonna do that. We'll probably do a few dungeons too. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will do my best to answer them all. If you put at Last Epoch Game in the question, I will see it much more clearly and answer it much faster. Possibly not at all otherwise, because I might just miss it. First question right out of the gates. We've got, why are you not prioritizing the new classes when that is what the community seems most excited for other than multiplayer? Do you guys believe other content is more important, like dungeons? No. You've answered the question in your question, actually. Other than multiplayer is the trick. We have to do multiplayer first. The people who have to do multiplayer are the people that are going to go do the classes afterwards. Multiplayer has a long testing time, and there's a lot that needs to happen in debugging it. That if we do the classes first, that will end up delaying the game and delaying multiplayer as a result, and or delaying the multiplayer and then delaying the game as a result. But if we do multiplayer first, we can then do the classes while we're testing multiplayer, and end up with a full release sooner. So, no, but we can do other things at the same time as multiplayer, but we can't do the new classes at the same time as multiplayer. So we have to do the thing you said was the thing that was more important first anyways, and then we can do the thing that is second. If that makes any sense. It is International Bee Day. I started talking about that. If you like your environment, which it's all right, I guess. Bees are really important to it, and they're not doing so hot right now. There, that's my soapbox for the day. I'll step down. As always, all of the proceeds from our stream go directly to charity. And right now we are doing Jude's Children's Research Hospital. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, which is great. I think it's all the housekeeping stuff for today. Oh, we've got Hunter X Bankai Killer has gifted a T1 sub to Lizard IRL. Congrats, Lizard. Thank you very much, Hunter. Glad to have you all here. I have a question. It's my first time here. So happy. Welcome. I am... Oh, man, I can take a stab at that. Dax Gleekaru? Oh, I'm sorry. Failed miserably there. What's the question here? My question is, quality of life would be nice to see. Exalted drops showing in minimap the key or unique. I think we have it someday. Yeah, there's still some features and fleshing out we want to do with the loot filter and what shows up on the map, what shows up with sounds, that sort of stuff. Because we do know that quite often the things that are most important and the things you're looking out for the most are not actually unique and set items, but those are the only things that currently show on the map and have a special sound. Sound I might be wrong on. No, yeah, special sound too. So yeah, we know that there's some stuff to be added there. It is tricky because quite often there's like situations where a lot of something drops, and too many of those beams can be performance less good, so to speak. So we're still working on details on how to set that up exactly, and also just the opportunity to create a system where the sounds are horrible is not great. We don't like giving the tools for people to ruin their game if we can avoid it. So yeah, that's all stuff that's in the works, I would say, but there's a lot of stuff that's higher priority, I think, than it. Specifically, like VFX updates for some older skills and some enemies and things like that, and also just new skills. And same with sounds as well. Having all those systems integrated and fully up to date is really good. I still love that. That's one of my favorite animations in the game, or VFX. Good answer. Thank you. I'm not sure what that was for, but glad you liked it. Be sure to ping at Last Epoch Games. So the question, yes, Reimarts, thank you. I don't know who that was. One question: do you produce honey? I do not produce honey. I've been trying really hard lately, but it's just not working. I've been seeing doctors, trying to get a second opinion. No one really knows what's going on. It's got me quite worried. Just multiplayer. Yeah, tests are going well. We're working on it. Yeah. There's not really much to say about it. Like, the first test went well. We're moving on to the next one, and that's about it.
Easy, too easy.
Ooh. A little spicy over here. I'm sure they're down there somewhere. Just attacking the darkness with my magic missile.
Not happening.
There was if anyone knows that, hopefully someone does. There's if you haven't played Guild Wars 1, there's an item in Guild Wars 1 with a +9 to ogre slaying dagger. I think it was +9. But there are no ogres in the game. So it's just an awful item. Alright, got another question here. Soldair, 2 or 3 months ago you said a Lich rework was coming, and the reperformed skill will get a quality level changes to make it more fun to play and build around. Are you guys any closer to being done? We haven't done anything with that yet. So no.
Not happening.
Well, I mean, I guess yes, because we've worked on other stuff that needs to be worked on first, but there's no progress on that specifically. There we go. Cruising through it. No problem. When you come to doing Seasons Leagues, do you already have a rough idea of what modifiers or features you'd like to introduce / disable? We've got ideas for it. We don't have like a list of like, this is the first one, this is the second one, or anything like that yet. So we're still in the like, there's some ideas phase for it. Speaking of quality of life, can we get a hotkey to unequip items? Yeah. I'm not sure I see the like you're saying, like, to take that action, right? Like just pull something off. Yeah. I don't see the use case of that being very frequent or important or anything. You know, because there's like, if you want to like switch something, you have something else equipped, you can right click on it and it'll switch them. And if you like want to send it to crafting, you can send it directly there from that. Maybe. I don't see that being a big one. If you can convince me what the use case for that is as being important, I'll consider it more. Hey Aaron, how's it going? Hey, what's up? What's up? Your item has exposed some problems in the Summon Bone Golem tree that have been fixed as a result, which is great. It was really old and still using the old system for a lot of things. Okay, next question. Is anything other than multiplayer being developed currently? Oh, yeah. By the team that you're excited about? Oh, yeah, still yes. I mean, there's new unique items that are coming in pretty fast right now, which is great. I love unique items. There's also just like, I know it's really boring, but there's a ton of optimization stuff that's happening right now, which I just love. Yeah. It's strange because development's kind of shifted a little bit. We're not really considering it like multiplayer development and like other stuff development at this point, and it's kind of just the game's development. So it's hard to differentiate between those things because sometimes there's like new features that are coming in that are like multiplayer development, but they're still new features for just the game now. That line of multiplayer development and regular game development has at least blurred and almost completely vanished, which is a really good thing. Just finished today a little like status icon on the players. I mentioned this before, I think, but like when you open your map, everyone else will see a little icon appear over your head in multiplayer now. I guess that's a multiplayer thing only, isn't it? Yeah. Run! Is there being talk about different quest rewards? Example, you can choose from 3 different unique items, yeah, which give access to level up and play with fun builds, and also tutorial how uniques work in this game. Yeah, definitely. I mean, so there kind of already is this a little bit with Artem and his gambling problem. And getting his ledger, and like that's kind of there in that sense, but it's definitely a hacky workaround version of it. We definitely have plans to have more like pick a reward style quest rewards where you can like pick one of these 3 items, and so the really big thing that brings is it lets us put in really specific items in there, so we can like force certain mods on items, or we can like force a whole item, force a unique sometimes, and it can let us do things like give a quest reward that always has like a really strong set of like throwing gloves, for example, early on in the game. So people that are like maybe struggling leveling throwing builds at the start, we just be like, okay, there's like this quest always gives you throwing gloves. They might not be perfect. Maybe they're like they're yellows, but they've got like this like 2 static mods on them, and the other 2 are random or something like that. So you know you're gonna get like some decent throwing gloves at like level 10, no matter what, or something like that. I think that style is very valuable to have, and we've definitely been that's been on the like one day we'll make that list for 3 years now. there's a lot of difficulties with that might not be really apparent at the start, and they mostly come from like opening that quest reward, because if there's going to be randomly generated items in that quest reward window basically becomes another item storage container, like a stash storage container basically, because if you don't save what that item is for that character on that quest reward after you've looked at it, so like the window pops up, you see them. If we don't save it, you can just like close the window and log out and log back in and like go back to the quest person and like have it roll a new item for you, and you just be able to do this and roll new items until you got one that you really liked. Now, there's nothing really wrong with that, especially for like a low level item. As far as like power creep or anything like that goes, it's kind of harmless. However, it does incentivize this sort of like unfun or unhealthy or just boring gameplay where you're just logging in and out over and over again. Which we'd like to avoid. Yeah, there's a few other little things that we wanted to get working real nice before that that came into play.
Not happening.
All right, next one. Oh, it'll be new. Okay, oh, not sure what that was. Currently, a few skills or skill paths are way better for leveling than others. Yes. Is the goal to have some leveling builds, or are we waiting for the great equalizer patch sometime in the future? I mean, I think that there are naturally going to be certain things that do just work better while leveling. The primary focus on the balancing is always going to be looking more towards the end game. Not necessarily so it's not like there's a, how do I put this, like a guaranteed like this is always going to be like the end game leveling thing. Oh crap, I took that on and off, didn't I? And I lost a point in something. What was the point in? Oh no, I bet it was that. It just been bleed chance. I'm gonna put in bleed chance. It would have told me what it was too, and I just wasn't paying attention. Is it in the chat log? Nope. I just wasn't paying attention. What's stuff that has a few in it? No. Could be frailty chance. Maybe just duration. Let's just put it in armor shred chance for fun. Why not, right? It's actually terrible for our build. I don't know why I did that. Whatever. Too late now. Let's get back to this question I was reading. Feels like a few skills or skill paths are way better for leveling. Is the goal to have some leveling builds, or are we waiting for a great equalizer patch? So I don't think that we want to have specific leveling builds that we're like pushing people down paths of. But I think it's naturally going to happen a little bit. If we notice something is really far off, I think the threshold for something being off that requires specific balance patches for leveling compared to endgame systems is a bigger threshold. And I just mean that because people generally spend more time near the end of the game because leveling slows down and like the balance doesn't change much for your character between level 80 and 100 that much really. So I think that we'll probably see balance changes for levelings in general. But if there's say there's a, I don't know how to put this. Say there's a change where having one node in a certain spot makes it really overpowered for leveling and perfectly balanced for late game, end game builds. It would have to be like really overpowered in leveling for us to really change that, or changing it would have to not affect the balance of the end game systems that much. So I'm really not explaining this very well because there's not like a hard and fast rule. Every single one of these situations is looked at individually, and I guess what I'm just saying is that the weighting of the reasoning for endgame balance it's weighted more. I'm not explaining this well at all. I hope that made sense. If that was unclear, I will try and explain it again. When you have one-hander with an offhand, you can't just right-click a two-hander this way, taking at the offhand. Yes. That is because there are situations where you can have a main hand offhand that will take up more space in your inventory than a single two-hander. And by right-clicking on it and trying to put those two items into your inventory in place of that one item, you could be left in a situation where there's not enough room and it will automatically drop the other item. It's the only thing we can do to preserve the integrity of the item system is just drop the other item. I think maybe we can stick it on the cursor, but there's all sorts of problems with that because then you go to click it. It's basically a safeguard to prevent you from accidentally throwing your gear on the ground that you want to keep. and I know it's frustrating because you're like, oh, I would never do that, or there's always room in my inventory. But it's just like the functionality needs to be consistent and obvious why it's doing certain things. And yeah. We need to not have situations where people can just drop their gear by mistake. Because like, you can imagine the forum post of like, the game auto-dropped my item that I spent 50 hours getting, and now it's just gone, and support won't help me to reinstate it. Like, that looks terrible, and it sucks for that person. So I mean, if we can find a way around that problem, maybe. Is your multiplayer implementation 100% authoritative? Don't forget to put at Last Epoch Game in your questions, and I'll be able to answer them properly. So yes, it is fully authoritative. There are certain things that, okay, maybe it's not fully authoritative because there's certain things that don't matter and don't have any effect on it. So like, your sound settings are not server authoritative. You know, things like that. So things that are, things that only happen on the client side and have no impact on the gameplay whatsoever are technically not server authoritative. But all of the things that represent what's happening inside the game, what's actually like functioning, that's 100% server authoritative, yes. So I don't know how edge casey you are with this 100%. That's why I qualified the answer. Blessing for main stats, vitality, strength, dexterity would be good. Yeah, there's a reason we don't do that. Hear what it is. I think it's just that it would be too auto-takey. And too universally perfect. If the multiplayer tests go well, I know big if, will we get multiplayer with the September patch? The September patch is not planned to be a multiplayer patch. Yeah. And also just want to clarify that as well, or rephrase that. The September-ish patch will not be a multiplayer patch, because I think that's how it's stated in the post. It's a long way out. It could be earlier, it could be later. I do not know. Plans change a lot. That's what we're planning right now. We try and give you guys as much information as we can. And we usually only say things like that when we're pretty confident about it. But we like to make it clear that these are plans and plans can change.
Not happening. Not happening.
I'm gonna get killed by an avalanche here. I can feel it. got him. Oh, that looked funny.
Easy.
Scary, I knew Mike would be in a bee costume today. Yeah, right? Why wouldn't I be, huh? Why wouldn't I be? Alright. Can you give a timeline for when we can mouse over rings and see both ones we have equipped? No, I can't. I should probably do that. That's not one of those things. It's like it's been on the list forever.
Not happening.
There's always just such a list of like this has to happen right now. It's like doesn't matter what else you're working on. This has got to be there. It's a big dance, a large choreographed routine, a ballet of coordination and working out what you can do to best advance. Alchemist Later, look at that. To best advance the whole project, unblocking everyone else. Have you considered a bind on equip or bind on? I think it's supposed to be trade item for trading in the future. Yeah, we've considered that. We've considered bind on pickup, bind on equip, bind on trade. We've considered bind on like trades remaining. That's a really cool system that I think is actually really interesting. So there's like this is hypothetical, obviously, where you have say an item drops and it's like 4 trades remaining, and you trade it, and then it goes down to 3 trades remaining, so then that person can trade it, and they can trade it one more time, they trade it one more time after that, and then it's done. And so there's like a maximum number of times each item can be traded, or some items, like, you know, I don't know. I think it's really cool. So if you're like, I know I'm going to use this item forever, and I'm never going to trade it away, you can then buy like a 1 trade remaining version, which will become 0 when you get it. And then it binds to you, so you know it's yours. Basically bind on trade at that point. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to try this out, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use this item or not, you can like get one that has multiple trades left, so you can still get rid of it if you need to, and still hold some value. It might add too much complexity to a system like that, where people are like, where it's this like extra stat that goes on every single item, the number of trades remaining on it, and then there's this like, the whole market becomes so complicated, and it leaves room for people to get kind of screwed over because they don't understand that piece of it because it's so non-standard. Can you tell we haven't thought about this at all? Basically, if you kill them first, then they can't kill you. Yeah. So multiplayer like December 31st. I really hope that I'm playing multiplayer with each and every one of you on December 31st. That would be really cool. I would love that. That would be a very happy Mike. Doesn't take much to make me happy though. The current forging potential weight for base implicits is potentially high, and the spread is high too. What's the reasoning behind those choices? Do you mean like the difference between forging potential on like a white versus blue versus yellow versus purple item? Current forging potential weight for base implicits. Oh, or do you mean like the amount of forging potential it costs to re-roll an implicit? So like when you're doing the, what is it? This one, the shaping, like the forging potential. It doesn't say the range. The forging potential used for re-rolling the implicits. You wait for re-rolling. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think I agree that it's a little bit too high, actually. It's one of those things that, like, it's meant as a pretty advanced piece of crafting to do. Sort of like, because the implicits are generally not like make or break for most items. They are for some, but not for most. So it's part of it being high was sort of to incentivize people to focus on their the other mods a little bit more. And then, oh, it's kind of nice. 2 LP on those. And then like the people who are like getting exalteds and you're like finishing off those exalteds, those ones being with like the leftover forging potential from really high tier exalteds that dropped is probably where it shines the most. That might not be ideal, really. This is the sort of stuff that we definitely take feedback on and continue to look at as we go through it. And we'll continue to get balanced, for sure. I don't think it's, like, really far out of the range of makes sense. Getting the perfect item...
Easy. Too easy.
Shouldn't be, as my character so aptly put it, too easy. It's like something where you kind of, in a sense, want there to be always a little bit of room for improvement.
Not happening.
And we did used to have those runes. It would roll twice, and it would take the average of those 2 rolls, which causes rolls to trend towards the center, because if you like, in order to get like a high roll or a low roll, you have to get 2 high rolls back to back or 2 low rolls back to back. He basically multiplies the chance of a high roll together to get the chance of a new high roll. And this is when we were switching over to the new crafting system, 8.3, I want to say, question mark 8.4. When we redid the crafting system, we wanted to keep the overall chances of getting a perfect or close to perfect or very high power item basically the same. And in order to do that, one of the things we did was we made the forging potential usage of one of those runes fairly high. And it might be slightly too high, I don't know, but I guess that's the why or the how of how it happened. Any update on reset passives? It's still in debate. It's the nice way of saying I lost that debate, and I'm still pushing for it. For the netcode, did you implement Lockstep Predictive or maybe both? It's kind of our own version of somewhere in between them with other stuff too. Yeah, I don't really know how to describe it properly without like describing all of it. So it will, when you press a button, let's say you press the button for Fireball, and your ping is, and there's a, let's say there's a let's say there's a 10 millisecond delay. That number won't work. Let's say there's a 100 millisecond delay in casting it. So in the time between you pressing the button and the ability actually comes out, due to like your cast speed and how long the ability takes to cast and all those sorts of things. And you're sitting at, let's say, 100 milliseconds ping. Oh boy. Don't die, Mike. When you press the button, because it knows that your round trip latency is 100 milliseconds, it's going to kind of predicts the wrong word. It's gonna start doing the things earlier than it really should, because it knows that, like, it's gonna start right away because it knows that if everything goes well and that call is accepted, it's gonna be able to cast it on time. So it adjusts the timing of, and I'm describing this, I'm leaving out a lot of really important stuff here, and I'm sorry, but I'm trying to describe it in the best way that it's understandable. It basically auto-compensates for your ping to make sure that things look like they're happening at the right time, because they are happening at the right time. It's just, we can't guarantee that things are going to happen at the right time until the server's told you that they are happening at the right time. So the game assumes things are going to happen at the right time, and kind of compensates the animations and everything for that, to make it look smooth. And the end result is that it feels like you're playing an offline game, even though there is lag, but because it's like taking your specific lag into account, or paying around trip latency, whatever you want to call it, because it's taking that specific time into account, it really feels smooth. And people way smarter than me made it, so I've also possibly made a mistake in my explanation, so I'm sorry to everyone who worked on that I just butchered that gorgeous system you made. I hate that the technique is named predictive because it's so misleading. Yeah, and that's what I was trying to avoid, the term predictive, when I was explaining that there. So, yeah. Because we actually called it predictive casting for a long time internally as a kind of colloquial way to explain it, or like reference it, even though it's not that. Sorry. I don't know. Not related to LE, but any new favorite spoilers from the Commander Legends Baldurs Gate? Yeah, there's so many bangers in this new set. Oh my gosh, we had an amazing week for Magic spoilers. Oh, it's gonna be great! I'm gonna go with one that I saw this morning. It's a crap. Let me grab it. Where is it? Raga Draga, the Gorguts boss. Yeah. Manador Tribal. One of my buddies runs a Yurlok the Scorch Thrash, which, if anyone who played Magic forever ago but hasn't played recently, they removed Mana Burn as a mechanic. This creature brings Mana Burn back as a mechanic. And it just like slots in that deck so nicely, it's crazy. There's a lot of other ones. Agent of the Iron Throne. It is very rare that my Athreos deck gets upgrades. Oh my god, that's going in immediately. One more and I will... Oh, and there's a new experience commander too that's just... Like, they haven't done experience stuff in forever. There's that one Mardu, or was it Mardu? I think it was Mardu one a while ago that's pretty good, but not amazing. But this just fits so well with it. It's just like a better version of it. Oh, love it. Okay, done, I promise. Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Fortune potential cost of... Yeah, okay, cool. I hope I answered that question properly then. How will loot be distributed during multiplayer? Instance loot. You will get your own. No free-for-all. Could multiplayer happen in September, or is it 100% no? I don't know enough about the timings of when things are going to happen to comment on the exact time of it. I'm sorry. I could make a pretty good guess, but I really don't want to, because I don't want guess to turn into the latest information we have is what Mike guessed at randomly on stream. With some things that's okay, but with multiplayer timing, no. All I can say is stick to the development update posts that Stanzor puts out for all of the latest info regarding multiplayer. That is the source. Whenever I'm telling you guys stuff about multiplayer, I usually have whatever the most recent post up is up, whatever, and just I'm like reading off of that, or have just read it before a stream just so I know what the most recent info is. Like, really, that's the best source of info for it, and I don't really have anything else I can add. I'm sorry. I know you'd love to see more info for it, and it, like, everything's going really well, but yeah. It's tricky. It's tricky. Hope you understand. Could you tell us, if possible, how EHG plans a Warlock gameplay? Damage over time, caster, big spell, debuff for the party, mix of this. I can't really give you much info on it right now. All the info available is on the website. It's a lore-heavy blurb, and there's not a lot there. I'm sorry. There's plans for some more unique mechanics in gameplay that you don't see anywhere else. I'll say that. But I mean, you can say that about literally every single master class, so not much of a spoiler. Is there any offline multiplayer planned? Offline multiplayer? Oh, like LAN. Yeah, LAN mode. No, we don't have anything like that planned right now. There's that would be really amazing. We'd love to do it, and it's not impossible long term, but for now it's not on the list of features we've got planned for 1.0. It's like there's just so many things, and like we'd love to do, and getting out the core systems, the core gameplay, the core game, getting that finished well and is solid and tight and feels good and plays well, and like all these things, just like we'd rather have a slightly smaller set of features that work really well together than a like a huge feature set of like kind of buggy experience, you know? And I think that'll produce a better initial play experience and give us room to add new features really nicely. Watches my kid super excited about Magic Gathering. Thinks my wife must be a saint. Yeah, she puts up with a lot. Have guilds been discussed recently? Not recently. It's still one of those things where if we want to have guilds, we want them to have. So we'd love to have guilds. We just they need to be, as far as our current feeling on guilds is that they need to be more than just a chat channel, just an alternate town hub, you know, like they needs to be something else that guilds bring to the table as a like some sort of feature, some sort of activity, some sort of gameplay element, some sort of fun thing to do in game that's more than just like, here's our guild chat, here's our guild hall. Like it needs to be more than just that. And those are really great things to put in, but again, this comes down to those features and like having that solid set of core features, really solid, really good, really working well, as opposed to a huge feature set of, okay, I guess that works kind of well. Like everything needs to have a purpose and bring something specific to the table. Got my ice beetle boy. Let's go, beetle boy. Bring your green hat. So yeah, I've been little outside Epoch news. I've been slowly saving for and keeping an eye out for 3D printers for years. And they finally, I kind of actually lost track of them for a while. I kind of was like, they're so expensive, they'll never come down, yada, yada, yada. I'll just kind of ignore them for a while. And recently, I discovered they've come down in price a lot. The quality's come up a ton, and the price has gone down a ton. 3D printers, entry basic 3D printers, they're affordable now. Like, they're cheaper than way cheaper than a next gen console. They're like cheaper than a good video card. They're cheaper than 5 AAA games. You know, like they've come down in price a lot.
Not happening.
So I bought a 3D printer. Finally. It's real bare bones, real basic, but it does what I need it to do. And I've just started, like, printing all these dumb little things. I've got, like, a big bin of them in front of me, but yeah, like, there's just this cool little stuff you can make, like, it's a little Majora's Mask. Gotta paint that. And there's all these, like, impossible, like, this is a single-sided object. There's only one side to this. It's continuous all the way around. And the same, like, it's a Mobius strip, you know? Things like that. Those are really cool. I love those little, like, mathematical, shouldn't really be possible looking type items. Love them. I think it's really cool. So I've been getting that configured. And you print a bunch of the, like, you print a bunch. My printer's not good enough to do really high quality minis. It's not there yet. I haven't unlocked my middle idle, so yeah, I keep trying. I don't know where to get it, but yeah, there's like these puzzles. These are two pieces. The other two pieces are printing right now. It becomes a cube. It's like an impossible cube puzzle thing. And this was one of the first things I printed. I don't know how well you can see that, but this structure, like, looks like it's just floating in midair. Well, the camera picks up the strings really well, actually. It looks basically like it's floating in real life, which is neat. And here we go. This is a D24. So there's this, like, cross centerpiece that leans one way when it's down and, like, picks a number after it rolls. Really cool. Dumb little things. Oh, and I'm printing a Heredric cube too. This started as a reason to print these box containers for my my magic card carrying case, and it's just been printing little dumb toy things recently. But I modeled. I'm learning modeling too because of it. I modeled and printed these dice for different types of charges on magic cards because I made a new deck. It's got 21 unique types of counters in it, and I realized after playing it once that I needed some way to track them all, because I had like 7 different types of counters on the field at once, and was like, I don't know what half these creatures are anymore. Like, this thing has 2 trample counters on it? Okay, what does that do? But yeah. Having a lot of fun with that. Learning a lot. Really not going crazy with any upgrades for it. I'm just like, it's basically a stock, cheap, basic printer. But it works really well! So if you've ever been interested in 3D printing, I would recommend looking at it, seeing if it's worthwhile for you now. Because I've been enjoying myself a lot. I will say though that you gotta have some, like, computer hardware experience to be confident with it. I think it's definitely not easy, and there's a lot of debugging. All right, back to the Last Epoch stuff. Do I sleeve my magic cards in a small clear sleeve before putting them in your deck sleeves? No, I don't do perfect fit inners. Probably should, but I don't. My really valuable decks I don't play very often because they're a little too strong for most of the time when we're playing. I'm usually playing janky theme decks that are full of penny cards. I'm like, this one doesn't start with the letter R, I can't use it. Oh, it was S. It was S that I did. It doesn't start with the letter S, so I can't use it. You know, stuff like that. This one has the wrong artist, so I can't use it. Mark Teaton, if you're going to do an artist deck, that's the easiest one by far. I'm unclear on the order of magnitude of the likelihood of Glyph of Despair to work on a T4 affix on an exalted item. Is it supposed to be once in a lifetime or once in 100 occurrences? It's going to be extremely rare. I do not know the order of magnitude on it myself, but it's gonna be hard. You're not gonna be getting it easily at all. Sorry, I just got pinged. The bees! The bees! Can something happen and that didn't come through for me? I don't know why. Alright, let's go find this. We're really close. I think we're pretty well... I didn't even look at the stability, but I bet we're pretty close to max stability here. So I'm just going to race through this one. Probably like going to miss it by 1 now because of that. I really should figure out how much my dots will carry the kills. Because I can probably be walking away from things a little bit sooner. Is it called Glyph of Despair because you usually despair when you use it? It's sort of like it's sort of a last resort to like get rid of an affix, and like it's you're removing it, but it's not gone completely. The name on that one was really tricky. And I agree, it doesn't quite fit perfectly. Ooh, let this arbor key. I'll take it. Even though I kind of have a lot sitting in the stash. Because I'm a bad person. Alright, getting that experience up. Let's go. I think I was putting points in this just because I like Dex and Glancing Blow. Did we get it? 650. Yeah, I just got there. Nailed it. Should get like a... I was thinking about ridiculous things to be doing wearing this outfit. You know, like get like a act like a chicken when wearing a bee outfit or something. You know, just like the wrong animal. It's like confused toddler mode. I don't know. Alright, should have named the Glyph of Despair the Glyph of Shadow Realm. That implies a existence of the Shadow Realm. The Shadow Realm is not to be discussed or referenced. The first rule of Shadow Realm is you don't talk about Shadow Realm. The second rule of Shadow Realm is why are you still talking about Shadow Realm? Shadow Realm is a lie, so is the cow level. What cow level? There is no cow level.
Not happening.
Oh my gosh, I was not looking where I was going! I ran right past the other one. I'm just gonna go back for it. Don't mind me. I wanted the gold. I'm coming back for the gold specifically.
Not happening.
Empirically, it seems that forging potential gets higher as items have more affixes. Yes, that is true. That is in the docs, and I think in the game guide as well.
Who are you?
Not happening.
Obviously, even higher for Exalted. If true, does this mean we're expected to ignore magic items after a while? Yeah, I think there's... And it's tricky and a little unfortunate that they are such, and I'm not sure the best way to fix that, or if it's something that needs to be fixed or not. But yeah, you may notice that, like, my loot filter is just hide normal magic right now. I probably could be hiding a lot of the rare ones too, but there's kind of not really much use for them at the moment after you get past level 50 or so. I don't know if you take lore questions. I'm so bad with it. Like, I don't know the details, and I'm like, I wish I could, but I'll try. Let me see what I can do. Just gonna not die first. It's their first priority. Ooh, Glyph of Despair. Yoink. But does the use of void magic make Orbis stronger, or is it more of an aid to loosen his bonds? That's a great question. I do not know the proper answer to it, so I'm not going to try and answer it from a point of authority at all on the matter. As a player, I really like the idea of it being one of those things where, like, you're like drawing from the same source of power as Orbis is, and it's sort of like fighting him with his own weapon, but it doesn't actually help him using it. But, you know, there's something to be said for the alternative too. If you have a good filter, unlike me, then there are no magic items. You essentially create your own rarity system with a filter that scales into endgame. Yeah, I think that's an accurate way of putting it.
Easy. Not happening.
I really want to get a filter sharing system built into the game. That's one of the biggest things that I really want. I know I've talked about it so many times on the stream, but like, that's one of my most wanted features that I want to make. Because I do really think we have a great filter system, but I think that there are times where it's a little on the daunting side for new players. Like, it's a little intense for some new players to really get involved with and feel confident that what they're creating is appropriate and good and is going to like serve them well, and they're not like missing out on stuff. And having like community approved in-game way to just be like, this is like, oh, you're playing a bow marksman, like, here you go, this is a great starting filter. And like, I know there's a lot of people on forums that have a lot of those great starting filters already made. It's just tricky to share them sometimes because a lot of people don't go to those third-party or first-party third systems, like go to our forums or go to Reddit or go to Discord or go to like any other third-party forums and things like that. Like, it's getting that information to players would be a lot easier. Oh, Soulfire Bastion key, nice. Would be a lot easier if there was just like a button here that's like find like filter browser or something, you know?
Not happening.
And I think that with something like that, there'd be an incentive for people to like really ramp up the quality of their filters and like, because you'd be sharing them, and I think that's something that a lot of people like to do.
Not happening.
Yeah, let's go. Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. That's why I made a basics video. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. You're right on the money there, Revelasi. And like there is some, where is this? No filter? Yeah, like there's some tutorialization that happens here, but it's not like details on like what are good practices to do in here, because a lot of that's very subjective. Yeah, what am I doing here? Nope. Nope. Oh, there's a scroll here. That makes a lot more sense. Where's the one I was using? That's what I was using. We're just gonna make it. Because I don't know where it was. Can you click multiples in there? Huh. Shows how often I actually set that up, doesn't it? Should we reroll everything? That'd be pretty cool. Sorry. My wife was asking if she could make a lot of noise outside my window. I'm like, please don't. Oh no, it wasn't outside my window, it was on the other side of the house. Yeah, that's fine. Alright. Did I just go into another echo instead of... This is what happens when I get on autopilot. Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. All right.
Traveler, can you help have my trust?
You know, I actually have... Okay, if I beat this boss, I got something for you. Or if I die to this boss. If I die, or at any point, or complete this boss, I got something to show you.
Not happening.
And this is one of the bosses I think I've done the fewest number of times in the game of any boss, so
Easy. Too easy.
I might fail miserably. That would be funny. Where am I going? All turned about. Oh yeah. I recognize this area. We had so early on we had we were doing conventions. We went to PAX West in Seattle. There was 3 of us that went there. And we had a demo build of the game that got all the way. It was a very limited version of the game, so it was like stripped down, so it could like fit on a tiny little flash drive, be loaded up ultra quick, super basic. And in the normal start of the game, it only went up to the point of this door that's right up here. In the normal game, there's a door, I think, right here, or already past it or something. I don't know. There's a door right here in the campaign, but it only went up to that door. And we were like, we figured there was a time limit on the demo, because we knew that from previous conventions that if we didn't put a time limit on the demo, people would just sit there for hours, which was a great thing. But we'd end up with a lineup, and people, we'd have to be like, hey, you gotta stop playing because people want to play behind you type thing. And we figured, okay, just put a limit on it, and it was simpler because the game would just be like, it's ending in 1 minute, it's ending in 30 seconds, and it would just end. Anyways, so we put this, we only brought enough of the game with us to get to this point, and we're like, no one's gonna be able to get there. Like, it's too far. Even if someone like pushes hard, they're just not gonna make it. And so we spent. There was one of the days. It was a little slower, that convention, than previous ones, because we were in a terrible position. The spot was just like impossible to find. I was leaving the booth one time, and so like I figured no one would be able to get to that point. So we just we were like having some contest to see who could get the furthest, and we consistently managed to with the prime list. You could get there right from the start of the game, and you could also do it with the Sentinel at that time too, which is pretty cool. It was like 10 minutes or something. So I got really good at speedrunning the first 10 minutes of the game. It was 20 minutes. But, yeah, that convention, we were in the worst spot. I was leaving the booth to go, like, check out the floor and see what else was there. And I must have walked 10 steps out of our booth at most, and someone saw my shirt that I was wearing. It was very similar to this, like a Last Epoch shirt, and they're like, oh, I'm looking for your booth, and they've got like this big map in front of them, and they're like, I can't find your booth, where's your booth? And I'm like, it's right there, we're standing like right in front of it, and like, because we were just like in this corner tucked away, it was just awful. Tons of fun. I almost went back in there. Here we go. Help to the Matrix and Guild Wars booths. That's cool, man. I love Guild Wars. That was my first, like, it's not really an MMO, but it kind of is, like Guild Wars 1. That was my first MMOE experience.
Lost refuge is gone, and I am all that is left. Die with trauma. My magic has no equal. Perish.
So just like a... Is that not hurting me? Am I just dodging it? Am I just that good at dodging? I think those ticks are slow enough that sometimes you just don't get hit by it.
Not happening.
Wretches. The void consumes all. Burn, wretches. Burn, wretches.
I'm just like not taking damage in this fight. Sweet. My tanky? No? Probably finish some of these off.
Wretches. Wretches. The void consumes all. My magic has no equal. Perish.
Whoop. Yeah, okay, you start taking damage when you just like run into the middle of everything though. Good job, Mike.
Why you run? It is hopeless.
About itemization, it seems that idols, prefixes on relics, body armor, helmets bring potential for build diversity. If you want to bring more build diversity in the future, would you preferably
Wretches.
add affixes here or affixes here or change the skill trees?
Wretches.
I know it's not an either or situation. Yeah, it's not. But would you rather lean on? I think, I mean, you kind of identified the problem there. I think it's so much not an either or situation that it's like, it depends on every single
Not
situation.
happening.
Oh, Dillis, hi. Yeah, I think it really depends on which one it would help with more, basically. Probably which one's more saturated or less saturated at the time. I don't know. Depends. Yeah, like, it depends on if we're trying to target specific, like, build diversity or specific build situations. You know. Let's line this up.
It is hopeless.
Got him.
Finally over.
Alright, we don't need catalysts at all. Let's say body armor, because as you're right, there are more awesomer ones there. For exactly the reasons you just said. Let this arbor key, hollow finger. Ooh, hollow finger just had to do a bunch of bug fixing with that thing. Yes, Delos, be costume to match the announcement. Why are you dressed like a bee mate? For anyone just joining us, today is International Bee Day. Yeah, bees are awesome. And keeping them around is pretty fantastic. Boom. For anyone who's wondering how you empower monoliths, once you finish all of them, you actually just have to come to this island and it empowers them. And as I say that, I'm like, wait a minute, do you have to touch something here? I think you do, yeah, there we go. Alright, what do we do now? Oh, it's so itchy. Are you sure it's not International Bidet? That's good. I like that. I now worked during the stream hours, was snuck in after finishing up my meeting with one of my senior devs. Nice. Glad to have you here. My lovely outfit. Legendary. Alright, let's do level 100 content when we're level 91, I think. Did we make it to 91? Oh, all of them, isn't it? The 3 level 90s, you're totally right. It's just the 3 level 90s. I'm level 83. All right. This is what I mean about like the like power scaling coming from sources other than leveling so much. I should probably look at like doing some gear upgrades, shouldn't I? Get a real loot filter going. Let me fix my build. Am I gonna actually do some homework and make this more competitive for streams? Is that something I'm gonna do?
Not happening.
My character's just like, not happening. Thanks, Mike's Puncture Hail. Glad to see I have your confidence at least. Do you think we'll see set items with the LP? No, I don't think we will. I mean, like, maybe eventually, but it's, I I'd say it's very unlikely because part of it is wanting to keep identity on certain things, and having set and unique items be distinct from each other is pretty important. And the way one of the ways we do that is now unique items have legendary potential. So before, set items were just unique items with something extra. Now they're each distinct because they each have something the other doesn't have. Oh, that thing blocks it, I forgot. What else have I printed recently? I printed a little, like, card divider thing to go in my deck boxes to, like, separate sections of it. Surprisingly simple, but surprisingly useful. It's basically a really thick card with a little tab on the top. Sounds like we need a new build for next week. No, but this one's doing so well. So well. Oh, I can show this off. So this is like why I bought this thing, was to print these little boxes here. And so they fit in my big carrying case, and they're like, the cards are never coming out of that. This is my latest model. I increased the size of the feet. Haha, it's the big difference that I made from this one. They take a day to print. They take basically 24 hours to print. It is nuts. I'm sure better printers can do it faster. Tempest Strike Shaman. We've already done Tempest Strike Shaman. No! There's also a thing, like the first thing you get when you get a printer is you make Benchy. I call him Benchy McBenchface. And if you're not an idiot, you print it without supports, so it has like a hollow cabin in there. But I didn't know what I was doing at all and printed it with supports, and now it's kind of ruined. But that's okay. Aura of Decay Lich would be fun to see. Yeah, that would be a fun build. I haven't played a... What was the last Acolyte I played? That was a Volatile Zombie. Since then I've played a Javelin Paladin, Werebear Druid, and now my Marksman. I haven't played a Mage in a long time, you know? I think Mage might be the next one. I haven't played a Mage in a long time on stream. No, there's nothing wrong with Tempest Strike. Good one. I'm really enjoying Puncture. I know it's probably not the funnest build to watch, but oh man, do I enjoy Puncture. It's just like...
Too easy.
It's not too easy. Come on now. It's fun. I like it. Pew pew. You know? Good stuff. Ooh, we should go to a dungeon actually. We're high enough level to like hammer out a couple of those. Maybe we'll do a little crafting. Let's see if we can upgrade any of our gear. Let's see if that's in the cards for us. Oh yeah, I said I had something for you when I beat the boss, didn't I? How is no one keeping me honest here? What do you want to see? Do you want to see Rogue or Primalist? Yeah, there's nothing bad with it if you're competing. If you're comparing it with basic attack, yeah. Yep, all right. Primalist it is. Ooh, snazzy. Yeah, this is. I don't know which tier this is, but yeah, this is one of the new Primalist sets. I personally get a real shaman vibe from it, and it's probably because I spent too much time playing WoW. But yeah, I get a real shamany vibe from it myself. Argonian vibes. All right, there we go. All right, let's try. Flip that over there. Oh. Ow. Something just went in my eye. Okay, let's see. Do we have anything with forging potential on it first? Oh, 7 there. 16, 9. We got a little to work with. Not much. Oh, that one's maxed out, right? Right. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yep. Right. Okay. Well, looks like you could reroll some implicits. What are our implicit ranges on this? Oh, that's a keyboard key coming off. Those are pretty good rolls on the implicit. I am not risking that. Who cares about that? That's max. Of course, that's max. Do you want to reroll any of the stats on them? I could reroll that one. Yeah. Okay, let's reroll this one. We want. I don't remember which one it is. Removal, discovery, shaping, refinement. There it is, refinement. Does hope work on this? I think it does. Okay, so what are we hoping for? We're hoping for resistances to go above 17 and 44. I mean, I think that's an upgrade overall. Yeah, let's try and roll this one. Why not, right? Yeah, there we go. There's not much from the ranges here, but why not? Let's give it a roll. The health went up, but the man, yeah. Basically the same. Oh well. Do we have any legendaries we can make? I think it's T50? Yeah, I think it's T50. Why am I even wearing that hat? Not really. You're right, that's a good point. It's not really a poison bill. I should probably be looking for a new hat. Okay, what's my ideal hat? What's the command? Build? Okay, do we have any puncture? that. I do like that bow. No. Add condition, affix. Yeah, it needs to default to there still. Puncture. Level of puncture. Duration. Yeah, check either of these. And then health. Add an increase in hybrid. Let's do all three. Say with at least 3 of these affixes. Let's say greater than or equal to 2 total tiers of 6. Yeah, let's say 8. Okay, if we get a sweet helmet drop, I'll see it happen. I was gonna do a dungeon of some sort, wasn't I? Let's go do Light the Arbor. Yeah? That's my goal. Yeah, let's go do Light the Arbor. Why not, right?
Over here.
Oh, I should make a legendary bleeding heart for this build. Do I have a bleeding heart with legendary potential lying around? It doesn't look like it. Are any of these worth just doing? A lot of my resistances are tied up in there. So it's not bad though. Let's try it. Let's give it a shot. $88. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. These guys are a little tricky, not amazingly hard, but
Not happening.
oh, come on, something. Stay alive somehow. Oh, I don't have chat open, that's the problem. Ugh! I didn't think you'll see all 3. Not sure what that was for, sorry. This boss has an avalanche skill. What am I doing? Why would I go for a boss with an avalanche skill? What is wrong with me? I know better. I don't. It's okay. We'll fail fast. We can move on. I do want to try like get a build all the way to like a T4 jeweler kill on stream. That'd be cool. This is by far the farthest I've ever gotten one. On stream. Sorry, I should qualify that. Alright, I got another question. Woohoo! Please feel free to ask questions. I live for your questions. It's what sustains me. Again, no questions. Need more. I'm on the wrong side of the screen, aren't I? There we go. Did you ever show us something after the boss kill? I did. I did show you something. This is what I showed you. Oh, I'm getting tangled up. That's what I showed you.
Not happening.
All right. Let's go. All right. It is very cool. I like to think so, at least. What is this? Nice outfit, thanks. I made it myself. It's not true. I didn't. Do you think we'll get any more dungeons before 1.0? I don't know. I would like to see some more dungeons before 1.0 personally. I think they are. I think they're a way that we can do a lot of really cool things that we can't do elsewhere, and I don't know. I just like the design freedom that they bring is really nice. And having like different game modes to break things up, I think is really nice. It's really interesting. It's fun.
Not happening.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. And I'm well aware that they're not perfect, for the record. But if we always waited to release everything until it was perfect, well, there wouldn't be much of a game to play. No!
Not happening.
How did I not lose any in that whole exchange? That's wild. I'll take it. Bees or golems? I mean, it depends. Like, bees are such an integral part of life, but what self-respecting necromancer would belittle herself to having bees annoyingly buzz around her face? I'm actually really looking forward to the new golem model and the new golem animations and everything. It looks really good.
Not happening.
Yeah, basically finished that item today, which is great.
Not happening.
Like there's a couple edge cases that need to be sorted out a bit first, but for the most part, it's working fantastic. Exalted Jewelry. We'll need that to make our Legendary Bleeding Heart, won't we? It's called MVP for a reason, am I right? Yeah, yeah, it is. I think we're past MVP right now, though, quite a bit.
Humans, you must stop the mountain beneath.
Whoa, Mike, what are you... Crazy person, Mike? What are you doing? Is my hand one off on the keyboard? It is. Oh. Just died right away. I want to put... I've got different keycaps for those keys from QWER that I want to put on my keyboard, but like I did for a little bit, and typing with it sucked. I spent a lot more time typing than I do playing, unfortunately. That was the problem? That was the problem, wasn't it? Yeah.
Go on then.
Hey there, want to try your luck?
Let's go do a start of the game quest. Well, that's new. What am I wearing? It's Bee Day! I'm here to bring awareness to bees everywhere.
Not happening.
Because they're too busy being bees. Because they're busy little bees. I'm serious, we're doing this quest. I don't care.
Not happening. Not happening.
Clearing up the quest tracker always feels nice. It does. It does feel nice. Portal. You've unlocked a portal.
Not happening.
What do we want?
Gold won't save you. The blade might. Stay safe, it's getting dangerous out there.
Get Gambler's Fallacy just because I like it more. Should we just do some quests? No, that's terrible. Oh, that's what was wrong. I'm dumb. It's okay. Can you add a checkbox to remove crafting shards entirely to masochist mode? I think it would be the real hard mode. Entirely? Oh god. I think that might be a little extreme. Like just disable the whole crafting system. I mean, you just not do the crafting system, right? Or do you mean like just remove shards? You have to like scavenge your own shards still? Put these two away, put that away. This is a room. I still hate that it does this. One day I'll fix that. One day. Oh, I need an arena key. Do we do 100? We did 90 last time. Do we try for 100? I just like scraped by 90 with the skin of my teeth. I'm just gonna do 90 again because I just like barely finished it. Whoever decided to make oh gosh, Make the max mob density roll all Gorgons, Matrons, and Ruby Captains. I just want to talk.
Not happening.
We actually made some changes to that system recently, whereby it will always roll some high density, low power mobs. So like, there'll always be a bunch of trash instead of having it just be all giant things. Because up until now, it's like, it's possible to get rolls where it populates with just a bunch of gigantic things, and that's it. And it makes density feel kind of crappy. It wrecks a bunch of builds, and it also it becomes the difficulty just scales out of control with that. You were once a boss. So dangerous. And now look at yourself. Pitiful. Any updates on sets getting buffed? They were just buffed, weren't they? There was a bug we just found in one of the pieces for Boardman's set, I think. One of the defensive affixes on the weapon, I want to say. We just realized wasn't doing literally anything at all. One of the affixes was just completely nothing. So that's going to be a buff. It was a really subtle thing though, and it was like, it looked like it was working, but when you like drill down to it, it wasn't actually doing anything. I can't remember what it was exactly. I know I'm missing stuff too. I guess I could go do it. No. Let's get idols. Currently, Echo difficulty varied greatly whether you get certain pack of monsters, matriarchs, yeah, or not, to the point where it may be faster. Jeez Louise. Faster to leave. Leave an Echo and entry in hopes for better packs. Is it an intended mechanic? No, not at all. Will multiplayer determine monster packs in Echoes? I don't understand, or will multiplayer determine monster packs in Echoes? It's definitely not intended. The goal is to have there be, yes, things that are harder than other things. That's always the case, but such a large disparity is never ideal. Oh boy, oh. Ding! Gotta get my health up so I'm not just like getting one shot here. Probably some more endurance too. What are my glancing blows at? Defenses. Is it? Where's glancing blow? Am I just crazy? Oh, there's chance to receive glancing blow. It's just a chance to receive. 29%. Cool. Lizard, the auto moderator, gotcha. I didn't even read it all, but I think it's probably safe. Apparently doesn't like the term big monster. I'll read it in a sec, I promise. Sounds like a load of beeswax to you? Yeah. These guys are tough. Tough stuff right here. And that attack hurts! What? Oh, there's a crack there. That's what's going on. I don't know why that didn't register to me as like a hole. I thought it was just red terrain. My brain did not
Not happening.
get that for some reason. Oh, it's a nice little small idol. Alright, let's see here. What if big monster spawns were a mod in Monolith and it came with a massive item find bonus, so people who are ready and can do it would be much better than crit avoidance nonsense. Crit avoidance isn't going anywhere. But yeah, I do agree that that would be I think that would be a cool mod to change the style of enemies that appear. We don't need a key. Let's go for Exalted Jewelry. Just whack him with Tempest Strike. All right. Can we succeed? Unlikely, but it's worth a shot. It just like that feels so good when they line up like that. Just like the line of damage going out. Feels good, man. Where are we? Where are you? Come out, wherever you are. I will find you. Word on the street is Warlock will be void focused. Yeah, you keep trying to get me to answer that one in a like trying to quell a rumor. I see what you're doing. I get it. I understand. That is a very much a fan created rumor. It is not based in fact of any information we've given out or anything like that. Not saying it's true or not true, but there's definitely nothing we've put out that said it is or isn't going to be that. In the previous 2 arena waves, there was one of the early game rare mods that uses a lightning attack that looks like a load of white X's cascading down the screen or something. Is that graphics going to get changed because it looks bleep? Maybe. I didn't actually notice it at all. Put that in a forum thread and I'll... Took a while. That barrel was... It was really a legendary barrel. Yeah, sorry, Llama. I do not know what you're referring to, but yeah, like maybe if you drop it in a forum thread and say, "Hey, I think you should update this," maybe it'll happen. We are going through a lot of older VFX stuff right now and updating a lot of it, so I'd say there's a decent chance that if it's really that bad, it's already on the list, you know. Oh, they were doing a doing a bunch of optimization, like specific level optimization stuff on certain zones that are just awful, and they finally hit the average frame rate in the zone that they were working on this morning. I saw a screenshot and it was just doubled from where they started. So happy. Like B50 or something, I think. Shout out to tech artists everywhere. You're the best. Alright, where's the next one? Can you elaborate on crit avoidance? The lizard. Okay, so you're asking if I can elaborate on the existence of crit avoidance as a mod in the monolith, I'm assuming. Because I know you fully understand how crit avoidance works. And the short answer is, I think it's really good that there are certain mods that are really difficult for certain builds to tackle. And the more narrow it is, the less likely you're ever in a situation where there's nothing useful to do, or there's nothing possible to do. I think that's a better way to put it. So you're never in a situation where, oh, I picked one that's way harder. Oh no! Oh no, and it's the one that I barely completed last time! Oh no! This will be my greatest challenge ever. Some say it's impossible. That person is me. From all of us here at Paramount Pictures. No. This is gonna go really badly. I have no doubt in my mind that I will fail this miserably. But we're gonna do our best. Come on.
Not happening.
Come on! I'm sorry for all the questions. Okay, there was a question I was answering about narrow mods are good in the monolith for things that are devastating to really specific builds. So yeah, the crit avoidance modifier is basically a free modifier for a non-crit based build, because you don't really care if your skills crit or not. Like dots, like the build I'm playing right now. Oh, love that one, because I just go in and it doesn't matter if I don't crit, because cool, I'm still don't crit anyways. Like all my numbers are white as they are. And having that level, having that monolith echo layer of the monolith experience as a whole being a strategic layer, is, I think, really useful for creating creating depth in that experience as a whole. So it's less about just okay, I'm gonna jump into the next monolith, and we're good to go. And for most people, what monolith echo am I going to is driven by oh, that was close. I clicked outside the game window. Is driven by what? Oh no! What bonus? What reward do I want? What am I looking for to get out of this? And that's basically how I've been doing it so far when playing on stream. And that mentality shifts pretty heavily once you get into empowered high corruption monoliths, because there are certain things that you just can't do really. And I think that's really good. I think that's really healthy. I think that's really a positive thing for the game overall. Because there is always still a spot that is useful to go to. It might not be the most useful. There might be like oh, okay, here we go. Okay, I gotta remember this pattern a little bit here. Okay, this is not happening. I'm just dead. I took 2 difficult modifiers. Ooh! I have no poison resistance. I can feel it. Come on!
Not happening.
Ugh! That 180% was just a huge mistake. There's no coming back from that. That's unfortunate. You also have no DPS. Yeah, thanks. I know I have no DPS. Jeez, come on. Yeah. That was foolish of me. It was entirely my fault. Ugh. Little frustrated with myself there. It's okay though. I'll get over it. I should really upgrade my idols because they're pretty junky. I don't want to spend the last bit. There's only 4 minutes left here. Can we complete a echo really quickly? Is that doable? This one wasn't it. I was talking about something, wasn't I? Did I finish my point? I don't know if I did. I hope I did. Sorry if I didn't. A little frustrated with myself because I could have done that one if I didn't take that 180. Like, okay, there is like the perfect example illustrating my point of like of what's happening with the crit avoid and stuff. Like, what just happened is the exact thing. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even mean to do that. So yeah, I got greedy and I went into I selected an option that was too hard. That was gonna beat me. It was bad for my build. I shouldn't have done it. And I got my ass kicked. You know. And I think that's. And like I got blinded by the light. I got blinded by the bonus that was gonna happen there. The rewards were too great for me to ignore, and I just went for it. Immediately regretted it. Knew it was a mistake, but yeah. I think that's a lot of times that's what's happening. And maybe it's underestimating how difficult something's going to be. Maybe it's that the dangers of mods like that are not high enough, not obvious enough when you're in those entry level, like the early monoliths. Maybe it's that when you get into later monoliths and your builds are more optimized, you're more relying on that crit to happen because so many more things trigger off it. You're getting up to that super high crit rating anyways. So it's possible that it's too punishing, but I think it's really good that there's things where like certain builds struggle with certain activities and there needs to be, and there's this like lack of just the perfect build for every situation. What's my favorite Adult Swim show? I have no idea what's on Adult Swim right now at all. Most likely Rick and Morty because it's the only one that I know is on Adult Swim. And I could be even wrong about that. When TV gets to Canada, the place that it comes from changes, so I don't actually have Adult Swim. Alright, I know I missed a question or two. Try and answer some of them. There we go. Immortal Summit. Would be cool if there was a node on shift that dragged enemies towards the line you traced. Oh, that is cool. So you could line up a straight shot after shifting. Yeah, like a pull inward on that line. Yeah, that's actually doable too. Funny enough. The only problem I can never remember which mob it is. Yeah, if you see which one it is. Can we get mobs that have X% less chance to receive ailments mono modifier as well then as a counterpoint to the crit avoidance mono modifier? I mean, I'm not going to say yes or no to something like that because it's a pretty big deal to add modifiers to that, but I know that one has been like pitched but not discussed, if that makes any sense. My main issue is some mods don't punish me at all if I have bad gear, but if I have gear, they do. We're right at the end of the stream here, and I'd love to talk about this more. I'm playing a crit build I just started, so I have 20% crit. I get crit avoidance. I think myself, no one cares. Now I have 200-hour character. I grind my ass for 100% crit. Monsters have 60% crit avoidance. I go play D2R. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. That's actually kind of what I was getting into at the end of that, where you're not punished as much early on, so you don't learn that it's something that is dangerous. And then so you see it later on, and you're like, why is this so much worse now than it was at the start? But there has to be things that are like build specific difficulties, I think, in the monolith mods. I feel like that has to be a thing, doesn't it? Like, because if there aren't things like that, then the mod pool is restricted to things have more health and things have more damage. Like, that's the mod pool if we can't build specific things, right? Maybe I'm oversimplifying it. I we're right at the end of the stream, but I'd love to talk about the sport. I gotta get into it earlier in it, or talk to you offline. I'm sorry. I gotta end the stream, but it is. If you have specific examples of ones you think would be better to do than it, please hit me up with those, and I'd be very happy to hear them. I wish I could talk about it more, but I have to end the stream. I'm sorry. I had a great time today. I hope everyone enjoyed themselves. I have... Did I show this? I don't know if I showed this. After Hours content leak. Ooh, baby. I don't think I showed this yet. I hope I didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Let's go meet someone new. All right. That's about it for me today. I had a great time. I hope you did too. That's not what I say. I hope you had fun. I know I did. There we go. Haha. Nailed it. I'll see you all later. Have a good night.